Hi, I'm Varyn,
I'm Krootox.
and welcome back to Demo Me This. This time, we'll be playing Receiver, a game by Wolfire Games, who you may know because of their slightly older title, Lugaroo, but also an upcoming game by the name of Overgrowth, which are both rabbit combat simulators. This one's actually a little bit different. This one is, as you can tell, a first-person shooter. And as the gaming press noted right when it came out, its focus is primarily on the extremely technical nature of the gunplay. That is to say, as you can see by the help menu I've pulled up, there's actually an extremely granular level of work that you can do with a gun, of control that you have over the weapon, and everything from looking around, raising and lowering the weapon, and pulling back the hammer and ensuring that the chamber has bullets in it. So right now, I can't fire, as you can hear, because there's no bullet in the chamber. Now, there is a bullet in the magazine. I'm sorry, I almost called it a clip, and I know that gun enthusiasts hate that. And one of the first things that everybody notices is that you actually have to pull the slide back. So that's sort of the first piece of this game that everyone notices, is the super fine level of gun detail.
Yeah.
But the architecture sort of stands in contrast to that, weirdly enough. It's like this really lo-fi everything, running around, you know, shooting robots and looting ammunition in this very, very low-quality environment, but with these extraordinarily specific gun details. And that's actually given cause for people to call it a tech demo, which I guess I disagree with.
Yeah, I don't know if I would... It looks like a tech demo. It looks like a tech demo if I've ever seen one. And it looks like it's, like, not complete in terms of, like, I would say fidelity in some regards, but even still, even though it looks like you can probably throw some textures on here, it still works as what it's trying to be, which is kind of this exploration thing.
And it's funny.
Your minds have been spied on.
I'm
The
gonna
rules
go ahead
of our world don't apply to yours, and so the threat
Figure
has
out
made
how
a
to
careful
turn off
study
the,
of listening to your
talk
thoughts.
aloud, because technically
drones
the
are
aim
the
of the
result
game
of
is
this
actually
research.
to locate the 11 tapes and absorb them. Just pick them up, listen to them, listen to the 11 tapes throughout this randomly generated roguelike style universe. And so you're given one of 3 guns at random. You're sort of pointed in the direction of these robots. You can see, for example, the turret on the ground indicated by the blue light and the light whirring noise, as well as one of the flying drones. Ooh, apologies if the very first drone kills me, but I can't see him around the corner, so that makes me nervous. And also the fact that you'll note that these shots are actually doing no damage because it's a physics-based gun engine. And so calling it a tech demo, because it does look like a tech demo, and I believe it was made in either 24 or 48 hours in a very short period of time, with all the random generation and stuff included in the original version. You know, I could forgive anybody for seeing this as a tech demo, but personally I find it a more, I guess, a more engrossing experience than when I think tech demo. I think, you know, here's our demonstration of how tire tracks run in mud in a new engine we've designed, or like, here's a physics-based deformation of metal system. Whereas this game, like, it has a goal, it has an aim, it has a point, it has systems, and it has, I would argue, like a complete package.
Yeah, it definitely has the complete package for what you want, and for what you want to do to finish a game. It seems, I guess it would seem less like a tech demo than it would honestly, I would call it more of like an alpha or a beta run. Well, probably more like an alpha.
Sure.
It's not quite a beta.
But it's
Beta's
definitely
gotta be more fun,
unfinished.
Yeah, it definitely has it definitely feels like it's an unfinished thing.
Now, I know there are at least 2 turrets upstairs, because one beeped, that is to indicate that it could see me while the other one was looking away. So I'm actually concerned at this point that I'm going... If I explore up there, then I'm going to get shot. So I'm going to skip that area. The way that you beat this game, as far as I can tell, is just an overabundance of caution.
Yeah.
And one shot kills. There's no health mechanic. Well, one shot kills you. The turrets are obviously somewhat more resilient. You need to hit them in the battery, eyepiece, gun, or several parts of the body. I don't remember what all of the systems stand for. Oh, excuse my friend there. Sorry. I'm low on ammo. I believe that's 2 left in the magazine there, and 1 in the chamber. So if I can't kill this guy in the next 3 hits, I'm going to have to find another way around him, or this run is going to be over. So I'm going to carefully monitor where the position of his camera is. See if I can't get the housing. Nope. Okay, good. But
Nice.
I'm out of ammo, and the game, in its currently pretty much unoptimized state, takes a while to load individual rooms, and actually will, as it caches more and more game space, more and more randomly generated rooms, it'll actually start to have more visible delay, I've noticed. So that's one of the unfortunate parts of such a quick game and such a, like you said, alpha level game. But as somebody who's, I'm notoriously bad at first-person shooters. I don't enjoy them because 2 tapes right next to each other. I do tend to take too long aiming. I'm too careful, I guess. Whereas FPS is so much more snap gaming.
Yeah, this game is definitely not. This is definitely not a snap gaming. This is more. It's very much a very careful, calculated kind of game where you have to just very meticulously, aim, fire. You have to be careful, and you have to do things just the right way.
Mm-hmm.
And so it gives you more of a feeling of like. First of all, it gives you a feeling of like actually using the gun. The second is it makes the game much more slow and much more. I'm at a loss for words. Wow. That hurts.
I
And that's the
understand
other
what
thing
you mean, though. It has this sense of gravity to it.
Yeah, like every bullet counts. And it's really funny because it doesn't. How many turrets are in there?
3, at least. Oh, that's probably the end of my run. Unless I can locate some more bullets. You'll note that the method by which you sprint is by repeatedly tapping the forward button. That's in order to give sort of emphasis to the act that sprinting is not the way that you complete this game, and it will frequently put you in disadvantageous situations and kill you very quickly. Oh, I better run. Oh, and there's another turret out there. Oh, dear friends,
Wow.
I believe this may be the end of our run.
Gonna have to figure out some way past them.
Oh, and there's another one. Oh, look, bullets. Still haven't taken a hit. Oh, and there was a taser bot above me. That's what that noise was. And that's the end of our run. I believe we collected 4, maybe 5 tapes. You have to play them to absorb them. So this run, we can look at actually playing them. And we got the... there are 3 different real-world weapons that are the weapons in the game. There's a Glock, a Colt, and I do not remember the make of the 3rd one, nor could I identify any of the 3 of them on sight. I believe this is the Colt 1911. It's a 6-shot revolver with, including the spinning barrel, which I thought was a cute addition, even though it has no gameplay function.
It's nice. It helps to give you that simulation feel.
And it plays completely differently from the other 2 guns, which are both magazine-based and both hold... One holds 6 rounds plus 1 in the chamber, the other one holds something like 16 plus another in the chamber. And so this one, which you have to manually eject the bullet casings, pick up any remaining bullets, reload on an individual basis, chamber by chamber, and that if you have an empty chamber, your shot will actually skip it as you fire through the rounds. It actually feels entirely differently, and frankly, I prefer this gun to the other 2. So let's listen.
Your crude world is not the true reality. Your physical body here is the shadow cast by your transcendent mind. We call this higher plane Reality A, and your world of shadows, Reality B. If you are receiving this message in a fictional context, you are at an even deeper level, one that we cannot reach. Because your body is a shadow of your mind, when your mind dies, your body will vanish. In the normal order of your world, death is merely a transition in which your mind is set free. But for victims of the coming mind kill, there is only oblivion.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And of course, you, dear viewers watching the video, are getting it at an even deeper level than the two of us, me playing, him watching.
Yeah. So... But, one thing I found interesting is that, most of the time in FPS games, your opponents are not like little turret robots. They're, in fact, other people coming at you and kind of yelling at you and attacking you. So it's interesting that this game is primarily your opponents, like, none of your opponents are human. Or,
Hit the camera.
or none of your opponents are human or like what you would normally find in an FPS. And it's not like Portal where it's not about the shooting. It's just all about the shooting and it's all about the danger, and it kind of expresses that the same feeling that most FPS games do with the
Got in the bathroom. Yeah, the generation this evening has not been great. Sorry, did you have anything else to say?
I know, I think I'm done with that line of thought.
Because, I mean, let's start with the most obvious reason. AI systems are expensive, AI systems are hard. And AI systems are, by their nature, sort of necessarily unpredictable if they're trying to emulate humans. And so this is a great... Oh, I don't know how I survived that, but I did. This is a great way of giving the player a really controllable AI system. Like, you know exactly how each turret will react to your presence, to your existence, and to various mechanics. Like, such that they can only even be hit in the same ways. And you'll note that I'm, of course, terrible at actually executing that, but that's a different question. More importantly, though, it means that the tactics come from understanding where the opponents are and understanding how to exploit their various weaknesses, rather than having to figure out when the AI yells, "Go left," they don't mean go left, they mean that they're flanking, or they mean that they're running around. And of course, they can be equally flawed in different ways, but this is more importantly flawed in cheaper ways. I came from that direction. So let's go this way. One of the things I don't like so much about the roguelike system, the generation, is that you get some really disjointed feeling rooms. For example, that room was identical in generation to this room. This wall, by the way, for any future players of this game, tips for pros only, this wall actually shows robot lights through it. So you can always tell if there's something on the floor down there or on the next room, the little bedroom up in the top layer. For now, however, we just have the one turret here, I believe, plus another in the bedroom. But let's take it slowly just in case. One never knows when there's another turret lurking in the bathroom.
All you want to do is take a crap. No, you can't.
Hey man, even turrets need to take a bio break. We've only found one tape so far for the 3, 4, maybe 5 rooms we've cleared. That's pretty normal. Tapes range from incredibly rare to showing up two right next to each other. That's the essence of random number generation. And, you know, the placement of bullets and
A receiver is said to be awake when he is able to get a completely clear signal, free of any subconscious corruption. In this state, he will be able to see realities in their true form and transcend normal human limitations. Although some of the receivers we choose to speak to are advanced in their ability, no human has yet achieved this awakened state. Humans exist in two worlds. In reality B, they live and work in their shadow bodies. In reality A, they are asleep, their minds unconcerned and roaming free. But humans have the unrealized potential to exist fully in both realities. It is this reason why humans are threatened. If even one of them achieved an awakened state, they would see beyond the horizon of all known understanding.
Man, I don't know what he's talking about.
It's intentionally sort of cryptic. They had to make up a lot of story out of very very small storytelling fragments, and in that way, parts of this game are actually a triumph, but the rest of it is unintelligible.
Yeah, no, the two things about those is that one is it's always very cryptic, it's always very interesting, and it gives this kind of surreal quality to the game.
Which I think is great. It's a great atmosphere.
At the same time, I'm like, okay, I know this was done in 48 hours, because that doesn't sound like professional voice acting at all, but it's just like, it's exactly like the textureless features and geometry in the game. It gives you the impression, it gives you the feeling, but it's done kind of on the cheap, and you can kind of tell. But that's not necessarily to its detriment to any significant regard.
But at the same time, it's still pretty effective. That's just David, I believe, of Wolfire Games. And another note about the previous room is that it was one of the big open ones, and I hate those open air rooms, and there are several in the generation.
So...
Sorry about that, I'm back. What I was trying to say is that open-air generation of rooms is actually pretty difficult to deal with if you get a lot of those flying drones. Luckily, I was able to deal with the two that we got, but that's usually a harder test of ammunition than these ones. So let's go ahead and take another listen.
Jason, you're getting kind of lucky with this run.
Please have your provided firearm operation manual ready for reference while listening to this tape. The 1911 A1 is an automatic loading pistol with an 8-round capacity magazine. The weapon can be discharged using a trigger marked LMB in your manual. All firearms are extremely dangerous. Engage the safety, see Figure B, and holster in the tilt attachment for your protection.
Oh, and I'm dead. So yeah, the weapon we had in the previous run was the 1911, actually, because it was at the... There was only one gun released with the original release of the game. This one being the 1911, and had to disengage the safety there. And then the other two guns were actually added in a later version, a later edition. The revolver then is a Colt revolver. I don't remember. I want to say a Model 11. It's not important. The point is that. I guess it's sort of a fun little game, very, very difficult, but I believe $5 on Steam, or at least was $5 on Steam immediately upon release, and given for free to anyone with a who's pre-purchased a copy of the game Overgrowth. Anything else you'd like to say?
Not really.
All right.
It's a very interesting game. It's got a lot of cool. It definitely can show you the games can do more than you would think they could do, or that a genre that you think would be in one specific way, it can be just totally different.
It's a great counterpoint to games like Paranautical Activity and other FPS style roguelikes. That you can do a whole lot with very little influence. You can take such minimalistic storytelling, such minimalistic gameplay, and such minimalistic graphics, and you can create a very tense experience, a very strong sense of storytelling, a very good sense of progression and where you need to be going, and movement and spaces. I don't know, I deeply enjoy the game. I know that it's simple, I know that it can be very frustrating, especially with random generation aspects.
Yeah.
But that I still enjoy it all the same. So, thanks for watching.